Hello everyone, and thank you for coming to my art show. I'm going to spend about a half hour, maybe a little bit longer, selling art off of the walls here and hopefully onto your walls. I'll also be making an announcement for the July giveaway, which was a 24-inch by 24-inch print of the Plastic Dream on premium paper. Normally be about $100, $125 for the print alone. It's absolutely free, and we'll make that announcement right at the end of the program. Somewhere in the middle, we'll talk a little bit about merchandising. I have shirts, t-shirts, phone cases, mugs, and a few other things, and we'll talk about those real quickly as well. In the meantime, I'm going to talk a little bit about how you can take part in the show tonight. Well, first, on my web page, there will be the show catalog. So when you go to the web page, the landing page is the show catalog. And that in itself will make this much easier for you to go onto the site and find the art that I'm talking about and make a purchase with 1 or 2 clicks. It's really automated, it's really great. I think you're going to enjoy that. It makes it easy on everybody. Or if you'd like, you can buy some things by sending me an email. My email is jpkowski.com. Send me an email, we'll work out the details, and one of these pieces could be yours tonight. So I think I've given the people enough time to get on, and we'll start the show. So the first piece tonight is called Crystal Color, and Crystal Color is a gorgeous color piece. It is a 24-inch by 24-inch acrylic print, and how the acrylics work is they print on the back of the surface, and so you get this beautiful, super smooth, glossy surface. Also, the colors just pop. So the colors are more rich and radiant in an acrylic print than almost anywhere else. And I think the detail of the printing is better on acrylic than almost anywhere else as well. So that's why people like acrylics. Problem is with acrylics, they can be a little bit pricey. And the fact that I love the round cut can be a little pricey too, unfortunately. But altogether, it's just a gorgeous piece. I think most people would agree it's probably worth to pay the extra price to get a premium piece like this. I also like to tell you that all the pieces that I'm selling tonight will be hand signed and numbered 1 out of 25 or so as a limited edition print, and I think that's important for the value of the piece. This is actually a model standing in a handstand, and then I've connected her into a sine wave with the shape of her body in the handstand, foot to foot, hand to hand, foot to foot. It's just gorgeous. It just weaves through here. It gives this piece a little bit more motion, and I love it when pieces have a motion that you tend to want to follow with your eye. It's very mesmerizing, and this piece has got it. So the normal price for this piece is $466. Again, the acrylic is expensive and the round cut is expensive. But tonight it's on sale for $372. Crystal Color. Item number 2 tonight is called Crack the Whip. Crack the Whip is one of my very first color pieces. I've used this model image many times. She's actually doing a leap. She's a ballerina doing a leap. And I've strung her together fingertip to fingertip, going back into infinity, back into nothing. And it looks like the children playing Snap the Whip in the famous Homer painting. But what I really like about it is that it's got a very 3D effect, and the color is very rich, and it really draws your eye into the middle of the painting. I have it hanging here in a diamond shape, but one of the things about my pieces, there are no ups or downs, so it doesn't matter how you hang it. But I like hanging it as a diamond because it takes up more wall space, but I also think it gives the image more power. It gives it a little more energy, and I love that about that. But it comes, as you will see, ready to hang, and you can hang it square if you'd like. So, Crack the Whip is a 14-inch by 14-inch print. The overall size is 22 inches with the matte in frame, non-glare glass. Just gorgeous. It would normally cost you $327 if you were to order it online, but tonight it's on sale for $261. $261 for Crack the Whip. Just a gorgeous piece. Item number 3. Item number 3 is called Peacock Arabesque, and it is a series of images of the same model in the same pose in arabesque. So she was a ballerina. She was really fun to work with. There's something about ballerinas that make them lighter than air. They're able to do these things you just can't understand how they're able to. So she stood in an arabesque and it was so pretty and so light. I just started playing with it and rotating it, and all of a sudden I got this very wonderful constructionist image popping out at me. And that's what I like about this. It feels very industrial and still very light. It's got a feeling that it's very fragile. And again, it has that same kind of energy where you just kind of fall into it and can be easily mesmerized by how it goes together. The reason it's called Peacock Arabesque is because of the coloring. I did this special coloring filter on this piece, and I just love the way it kind of resonates from the center. But when I stood back and looked at it, it looked much like a peacock tail. So that's where you get Peacock Arabesque. Peacock Arabesque is canvas stretched around a round stretcher, and it's just gorgeous. We talked about the price point of the acrylic earlier being high. Well, this is the complete opposite of that. Because we're printing on canvas and we just have a wood frame, the price point starts out at much lower. So you get 29 inches for $190 normally. Tonight it's on sale for $152. $152 will get you this 29-inch circular print canvas Peacock Arabesque. Item number 4 is called Quasar. Quasar is a premium print. It's 14-inch print with a matte and frame. The overall size of this piece is 22 inches. It's an interesting story behind Quasar. The model I hired for this piece was actually a model I hired for sculpture. I used to do a lot of sculpture, I still do, but her poses were very stiff. She wasn't very elegant or fluid with her posing. And so I was really disappointed, and her poses stayed in the back of my computer, and I never looked at them for years. When I started doing the mandalas in Photoshop, I decided that maybe she might work out well for that, and she does, because her very geometric posing works extremely well for these mandalas. So I appreciate her more now that I'm a little older. But she was a bodybuilder, and her body shape was very interesting because it had a lot more concave and convex curves going on, even when she stood in a very geometric manner. And when I put this pose together, or this mandala together, I noticed that it had kind of a pulsation effect. And so I added the lighting effect later and tried to enhance the pulsation of the way her hips, shoulders, hips, that kind of thing worked. And it just worked gorgeous. And that's where it gets its name, Quasar, from the pulsating star, Quasar. Quasar normally sells for $327, but she's on sale tonight for $261. Quasar. Item number 5 is called Front to Back. And Front to Back was a study in color. And I was really trying to get very organic and, let's say, plant-like, nature-like in the way this piece was put together. I happened to have both the front view and back view of this model in the same pose, and it just made me think, oh, I could do some fun things with that. So here she is looking like a flower or a bouquet of flowers, you know, with green stems and just very flower-like color, all done in very pastel-esque colors, and I really like that. I wasn't sure how well the print was going to show up when I got it, and when I opened the box, I just loved it. The colors the printer got spot on. It's just gorgeous for the color I was looking for. It's one of my favorite pieces. One of the nice things about it is this is called a metal print, so it's printed on metal. Metal prints tend to be a little more expensive again as well, but the reason for it is their color is just gorgeous. They just have better color saturation and control on these metal prints than they would on paper or canvas, and that's why they tend to be a little more pricey. Again, they look a lot like acrylic, but they're very thin. It's just a thin sheet of metal and printed and then coated. I think what you're going to see with metal prints is they're really worth it if you really want a sharp, rich image. So normally, this piece would go for $196, but tonight it's $156. It's a 16-inch by 16-inch print. I again have this hanging in a diamond shape because I think it gives the image a little bit more power, a little bit more energy. Plus, again, as I said before, it fills more wall. A smaller piece can still fill more wall. So it can be hung normally as a square, and it's set up that way. So if you purchase it, you can still put it up as a square. Next. Hello, we're about halfway through the show tonight, and I wanted to talk quickly about what's available on my website. Not just high-end reprint art on many materials, from canvas to acrylic to metal prints, gorgeous metal prints, to papers, different quality paper, even metallized paper. But also there's all kinds of apparel and items you can purchase as well. They're all listed in the same spot, so all you need to do is go to your favorite image, and at the end of the list you might see coffee cups, phone cases, all sorts of fun things in apparel, tote bags. Here's a tote bag that's printed, they're printed on both sides, which I really appreciate. This is a very rugged and well put together tote bag. I'm really happy with the quality of this piece. And also all sorts of apparel. Here is a hoodie, and I think the apparel is actually of a better quality than you might first think too. This hoodie is probably one of the nicer hoodies I actually own. So go ahead and visit the site and look at all these different materials you can print on, pillowcases, you name it. So I hope to see you on the site and have a wonderful time with the rest of the show. Item number 6 is called Unity, and it's a fan favorite. You've probably seen this a few times. I now use this as the logo for the company. Unity is 29 inches by 29 inches. Again, it's canvas stretched around a round stretcher. It's got a wonderful price point. I think a lot of people will be interested in this piece. Currently, I have this above my fireplace in the bedroom. It's just gorgeous. It just lights up a room. Again, this is the model standing in a handstand and then weaved in a sine wave all the way across. And once that was stepped in a large circle, then that whole image was flipped 180, and then you get this beautiful weave. I think the weave makes this piece. It's light, airy, and yet it's just gorgeous. And the idea of unity is the individuals working together to make a more beautiful whole. And that's my whole point. You know, society isn't about a bunch of haters or people in arguments constantly about idiotic things. It's about people working together to build a better society. So that's why I like this piece. It's a good piece for the times we're living through. Unity. So Unity would normally cost $224, but it's on sale tonight during the show, $199. Unity. Item number 7 is Afterthought. And you've probably seen Afterthought a few times before. I gave a lecture on it not too far back. And also I had the model for this piece come over and we did a critique together. And it's just gorgeous. I think if you're into yoga, you'll like Afterthought. Afterthought is made up completely of yoga poses. I think there's 9 in here. And as I was building this mandala, I had a hole where I needed to get another image of the same model, because this is all the same model. But I didn't have any more yoga poses, so she's actually in a dance pose. So that was the Afterthought. It's still a wonderful piece. 90% of it is yoga poses. So if you really like yoga, this is probably a piece you're going to like. Many people like this piece because it's very mesmerizing. And I believe that's true. Got very rich blacks and very interesting highlights, because this is a metallized paper. The highlights kind of fleck at you if the lighting is right and you pass by, you go, oh, I just saw some movement there. And that's really the light coming off of the metal and flaking at you. Again, this piece is got the traditional framing and matting. I kind of like that when we're talking about photography. It harkens back to traditional photography and photo methods, even though this is all digital. It is a 12-inch by 12-inch print. The overall size with the mat is 20 inches, and it would normally cost you $270, but tonight, because we're having this sale, $216. So this one, I think, is a very handsome piece. I think it's a piece that people really love to look at and get up close to and be pulled into it, so to speak. It's almost like an adventure to see what's going on and not just see a mandala, but see the parts that make up the mandala. Again, Afterthought, a real favorite of mine. Item number 8 is called the Swirling Dancer, and the Swirling Dancer is using the golden ratio for the curve. And it's just gorgeous. I had a little bit of work developing the sizing of the figure to go down there correctly and be correct for the curve. But once I figured that out and got those ratios and those numbers correct, it became a very beautiful print. She's actually laying in repose and taken from over her shoulder. The shot is an over the shoulder shot. And what's interesting about it is once she was put into this curve, it looks like she's descending stairs. And so you're looking at it from the top as she goes down a stairwell. It's just gorgeous. It's got a very wonderful 3D effect. People really like it. Some people say that it might make them a little bit dizzy, but I really like it. So again, the Swirling Dancer is 23 inches by 23 inches. It is a canvas wrapped around a round stretcher, and it is normally $169, but it's on sale tonight for $141. Swirling Dancer is one of my newest pieces. It was fun putting it together. It really has a very interesting 3D effect I wasn't expecting. Swirling Dancer. So we're at the last image for the show tonight, and it's called The Wheel in the Sky, and it just happens to be the very first mandala I created out of the human figure forms. This particular piece was a dancer in a leap, and originally she was a black and white photo on regular photo paper, traditional photography, and I scanned her in and had in mind almost immediately to do this kind of a spiral shape. I wasn't really sure how to go about it in those days. I wasn't really very clever with the math as well. And this one is actually a circle that is being reduced many times back into infinity. I really liked the way the hands started to join together, and that's when I stopped. Then I colorized it so that it's now a color image rather than black and white. And then the last step was adding the sky background. The sky background is another one of my shots as well. And I really thought it went together well, and it became a very Rene Magritte-esque to me, which made it even more favorable to me because I always loved Magritte's work. So this piece is a 14-inch print with a matte and non-glare glass, and frame comes to about 22 inches total. It's a gorgeous piece. It's got more realism than most of the pieces I do now, but I really like that. So normally this would be $327, but tonight on sale it is $261 for the wheel in the sky. I love this piece. I've had it in my living room for years. I think you're going to appreciate it too. So we've reached the end of tonight's show, and I want to end it with a bang, and that is we will announce the winner of the July giveaway, which is this print here. It is the fan favorite Plastic Dream. It's a 24-inch by 24-inch premium print. We'll send it off as soon as possible. So let's get to that drawing. And the winner is Kathleen Day. Kathleen Day, I will be sending you an email as soon as possible. I need back from you your shipping address, and we'll get this shipped off to you. Congratulations, Kathleen, and I hope you enjoy this print. It's a fan favorite, so I'm sure you will. So that's the end of the show tonight. I'm glad you all made it, and made it to the end. It looks like many of you have. And I appreciate that, and I can't wait to do another one of these maybe in a month or so. So stay tuned, and thanks again.